No one ever taught me that love could feel like danger, that a kind hand could make you flinch, that soft eyes could make your chest tighten, that comfort could feel like a setup. Like the first few calm seconds before everything breaks again. I didn't understand that fear. I only lived it. I lived it in the quiet ways I pulled away from people who cared, in the way I never trusted laughter to last, in how I could hold someone's gaze for a moment, but never long enough for them to see all of me. I wasn't born afraid of love. I became afraid of it. I became afraid of what it asked of me: vulnerability, trust, presence, things I had learned to live without. Love didn't come wrapped in safety for me. It came with conditions, with silence, with hands that forgot how to hold. It came late, or not at all. So when someone said I love you, it didn't feel like warmth. It felt like a countdown. How long until this ends? How long until they leave? I learned early that people don't always mean what they say, that affection can vanish overnight, that sometimes the people who are supposed to protect you are the ones you need protecting from. And so, I built my walls high and my expectations low. I loved from a distance. I survived by staying hard where I once had been soft, and it worked for a while. I kept myself safe, untouched, unbroken, at least on the surface. But safety like that is lonely. It's not safety, it's a fortress, a place you build when you think everyone is a threat, even the ones who aren't. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if someone had stayed, if someone had taught me, gently, that love could be consistent, that it didn't have to be earned through silence or obedience, that it didn't come only when I was good, that I didn't have to disappear to be held. But no one did. So I taught myself to be unlovable, not consciously, not cruelly, but slowly, subtly. I trained myself to expect disappointment, to harden under the weight of neglect. I turned absence into identity, and then I forgot there was any other way to live. So when someone came close, I pushed them away, not because I didn't care, but because I cared too much, because they didn't see the version of me I was protecting, the broken child, the shaking hands, the voice that still quivers when it asks for anything. And I didn't want them to see that. I didn't want to be known in my rawest form, because what if they didn't stay? That's what love felt like to me, a risk I couldn't afford. Flamed close to a paper-thin heart. Even now, when someone sees me, truly sees me, I want to run. I want to change the subject. I want to joke it away, because if they look too closely, they'll find the cracks. And I don't know if I'll survive being left again. But here's the thing no one tells you: love, the real kind, waits. It doesn't rush in. It doesn't demand you open every door all at once. It sits with you. It learns your silences. It notices the way you grip the edge of the table when the conversation gets too real. It stays when you need time. It doesn't punish your fear. It makes room for it. The first time someone loved me like that, I didn't trust it. I thought they were pretending, or mistaken, or that they'd eventually realize I wasn't who they thought I was. I tested them, pushed, pulled, disappeared, came back, and every time, they stayed, gently, firmly, without needing me to be anything other than what I was. And slowly, I began to unlearn. Not all at once, not in some dramatic breakthrough, but in quiet moments, in breathing a little deeper when I realized they hadn't left, in holding eye contact just a little longer, in speaking I need without the tremor of apology behind it. Healing from love you never received is harder than healing from love that hurt, because when you've never had it, you don't know what to compare it to. You think survival is enough. You think silence is love. You think distance is safety. But it's not. Love, real love, doesn't make you flinch. It doesn't require a performance. It doesn't erase you. It holds. It witnesses. It stays. And once you feel it, truly feel it, you begin to grieve everything you went without. You mourn the childhood where hugs felt like negotiations. You cry for the birthdays no one remembered. You ache for the moments you needed someone to say, "I'm here," and no one did. But you also begin to hope. Hope that maybe you weren't too much, or too quiet, or too broken. Hope that maybe you were just early, that the love you needed hadn't arrived yet, that the absence wasn't your fault. That hope is a dangerous thing when you've lived in fear, but it's also holy, because it means something inside you survived the abandonment. Some small light refused to go out, and that light, however faint, is the birthplace of your healing. So now, when love comes to my door, I don't slam it shut. I crack it open. I listen. I breathe. I ask questions. I let it prove itself, not out of bitterness, but out of reverence. Because I've learned that I'm worth careful love, The kind that doesn't flinch when I speak. The kind that doesn't vanish when I falter. The kind that walks beside me instead of trying to fix me. And maybe you are too. Maybe you're still learning to receive love without suspicion. Maybe you still expect to be left. Maybe every "I care about you" sounds like a countdown. That's okay. You're not broken. You're protecting something precious. But I promise there are people who will wait for you to feel safe, who will meet you at the pace of your healing, who will see your fear and not run. They exist. And more importantly, you are learning to become one of them. Because when you've spent a lifetime afraid of being loved, the most radical act is to let yourself be loved anyway. Not when you're perfect, not when you're healed, but now, as you are, with your fear, with your past, with your slow steps. Because the truth is, you've always been worthy of love, even when you couldn't accept it, even when you pushed it away, even when all you knew how to do was survive. You were worthy, and you still are.